well. Can you ignore the egg? Can you ignore the egg? Really?
No, realistically no, but I think the good part is you have the IO for the overcharge, so it's not as if you're ignoring the egg. You just have like the juiced up one guy with the IO. Those two should be able to deal with the egg as long as your positioning is correct to get in. So I think they're soft covered from the egg in that respect, and I like the fact that Brame, they're confident in the draft. You know, they're going for their comfort picks. Phoenix Bloodseeker, these were instrumental in their open qualifier run, and also you see the Slardar, unless NIP have some like kind of topsy-turvy play where they're going to put it to 4 or they're going to have it mid like we've seen other teams run it, for example, which probably isn't going to happen. This PA pick's very strong because you already know the lane you're in, and you already know like, oh wait, they have this physical damage offlaner. PA does really well against that. So now Nip with this clock pick, it does kind of solidify the fact that you would expect the Slardar and Clock just to be the dual off lane, and this is why PA still does really well here because he can jump out of cogs, he can play out the lane pretty well, he can get overrun potentially, but in the big picture, it allows Brame to get to that additional support pick that can be, you know, that get you pick.
I like the way this is coming through, like with the PA from Brame. Overall, the way that they set up their damage output, as like PA has been becoming more and more frequent, when there was a phase not too long ago when PA was too much of a situational pick, that people weren't feeling too comfortable with the hero. Too many counters, too many ways to fight against it, too much of a glass cannon that you never actually get online and doesn't have like what it needs. But only few players have made it work, and now it feels like PA is becoming more and more common. So obviously we might either see like PA counters coming into play, so the drafts are changing. They're much more lively than they were a few weeks ago. And as you can see, NIP, they've got 6 seconds remaining. They're running out of time. They haven't even picked their 4th hero yet. And into the PA Tiny, we're going to see a Morphling come in from NIP.
The Charlie Morphling. So this NIP lineup is basically like the slow starter burner. They're going to be like winding it up, and then they're just going to go. You know, they're just going to want to fight. But I feel like Brame, they're somewhat ready for this, but the lack of control, the lack of fight, actually allows Nip to do this. Because if they had stuns, then you could argue, oh well, they're perfectly fine. You know, they're going to have to lock down the Morphling. They have the Blood Right. They got all these ways to deal with it, but the fact that they don't have a way to say we're fighting here, stand still, outside of Rupture, it does allow Nip to have this very kind of loose skirmish lineup, and it amplifies it. So I think if Nip just kind of round out their draft with one more active mid hero, then they're perfectly fine. Like you see the bans from Brame, the Quap, the Void Spirit, these are heroes that would allow for that kind of mid to side lane pressure. That's exactly what you need, because once you get that ball rolling, it's going to be very hard to deal with, because Brame, they are a scary lineup, but like in that last series, they're locked into itemization, and this is the exact hero you kind of want. Like this Ember, Quap, Voice, but these are the heroes that you want to have in your mid lane. And now for Brame, they have this tiny flex. They can put it 4, they can put it mid. So they need to decide now, are we putting the tiny against Ember and picking up maybe a position 4 that can pressure the Morphling in lane? Or are we just going to put the tiny 4 and just pick up a strong mid to deal with the Ember?
Is there a possibility to see a Phoenix 5 and see the Bloodseeker tiny go in the offlane for Brame?
Yeah, for sure. That's exactly what I'm expecting right now. I'm expecting it to be the tiny flexing between that 4 and mid. The Bloodseeker is 3, the Phoenix is 5. So this is the discussion having right now is where are they putting the heroes? Because I kind of like the idea of tiny being 4 just for that laning pressure against Morphling potentially with like the Avalanche situation.
The
But
Blood
that's
Right
very
Avalanche,
gimmicky. Yeah, it's very gimmicky though, because if it doesn't start well, you eventually just never kill the Morphling anyway. So you might want to gravitate to more of a ranged hero to properly pressure the Morphling. Oh, they go for a Pugna. Now let's find out. Is it Pugna mid on Wish? Okay, it's Pugna mid. Cool.
All right.
That's nice. That's cool. I don't mind that. That kind of, it's not about. It's nice in the idea that it allows them to set the tempo of the game, i.e., pressure objectives, force rotations. But in the big grand scheme of the game, Ember does beat Pugna. Ember is like the counter to Pugna because you can always get on top of him. You buy BKB. So Brame have a very difficult position right now in which if they don't get the ball rolling, then I could easily see them struggling to lock down Nip and decide how to take fights. And they're going to be like throwing spells out willy-nilly in the hope to win the fight. But Nip, on the other hand, if they lose pacing on the game, Slardar needs farm, Morph needs farm, Ember needs farm. Suddenly, this Pugna going from tower to tower, playing behind the pocket of aggression that Bloodseeker creates, it could be really difficult for Nip to farm. So, yeah, this would be an interesting one. I do like what both teams have, but I think Nip's overall aggression will just outswarm Brame, and I think Brame might just not feel like they have enough oomph in the tank.
Oh yeah, the good old oomph. Is it going to be there or
the
not?
Oomph factor, yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to wait and see as our second game, our first game for Group B is gonna kick off as NIP take on Brame, the open qualifier team, to fight against one of the invitees for this GSL group stage. And then we've got 5 men fighting up against Khan in the other series at the same time. So Group B matches up now. We already saw Mud Golems and Live to Win take their wins into the winners match, and Yellow Submarine and Hellraisers will be fighting in the losers. But this is the one we're going to keep an eye open for. Two very interesting teams, especially once there's a time, and this I think is exactly the time, you see an open qualifier team and you're like, damn, these guys, I know these guys. So what can they bring?
That is the beauty of open qualifiers, right?
Yes. We're very accustomed to open qualifiers and what teams play there and which are like the top 8 teams. You're like, you always see the same faces, but Brame, I have not. So all these familiar names, how do they sit together? How do they fit together? We'll see in the next, who knows, X amount of minutes. My in-game microphone is not working for some reason, so hopefully the stream can still hear. So it'd be all good, hopefully. I'll know in 5 minutes, you know. Because of the delay, I'll just check up, like, is my mic still working? All right, well, if there's 5 minutes of silence, then there's 5 minutes of silence.
They just hear me talking to myself. At least I won't be able to talk over you this time.
That's true. Very true. All right, we got the POS 5 Phoenix. All right, so we've talked about the draft, about the Tiny going with the Bloodseeker, which is very common because of the combo with spells that they have. Once you get that first Avalanche tick in, the Blood Right should always connect. It's like a guarantee. But I want to talk about the Phoenix. When do you play POS 4 Phoenix, and when can you play POS 5 Phoenix? Because it seems like it's a rarity when the Phoenix is actually a 5. And I think many people are actually interested in that.
The 5 Phoenix is about there isn't those innate egg hitters per se, but also you want to relegate it away from the 4-0. I think when you have a carry that's already in a good matchup, you can go for the Phoenix because he's like an aggressive hero, right? He likes to play spirits and be in your face. And in a lane where you have PA against Slardar, physical damage PA kind of thrives against, so it just amplifies Phoenix playing in that 5 role. And when you put it in the 5 role, it unlocks your 4 to be that go-getter, that aggressor.
Yeah.
And I think the main thing to look at, is if your 5 player is unable to play those initiators, it is good to put the Phoenix in that role because your 4 player can take the reins on that. So it's how we see here, we have that Tiny in the 4 position because, you know, like, what's Spartan going to play in 5 that can go start the fights? They need that go-getter. So that's another reason why you might want to put it more 5 than 4.
All right. I'm glad I have you here to explain these things because I've always thought about it, and you know, I've put some like thoughts into it as well. But there's some times when I just start thinking, why can't the Phoenix just be a 4? And you know, like when you see a Phoenix 5 and you see people like, no, you shouldn't, it's not worth it. So it's like, all right, why not?
But like,
you get some very conflicted answers every now and then. So.
But you also have to think about like the lanes you want to have set up, right? Like we see here, Slardar Aya, what damage type do they bring? It's physical damage. Phoenix with spirits fully negates that attack speed, so it allows you to also be defensive through your aggression.
Yeah,
and it's why like we're not seeing Clockwork up in this top lane, because Clockwork wouldn't actually be able to do anything against this PA. I mentioned the idea that PA jumps out of cogs, physical damage as well. So I like the fact that they're putting the Aya up here to at least give them some laning presence.
Misha's getting a decent amount of bullying here onto say Spartan. But,
Charlie in the bot lane getting tickled. Only tickled though.
Yeah, they've done this a few times now, but Stamanen does tank a few hits from this tower. Bit of punishment going in his way too. They are going to continue repeating this soul right into the avalanche, and even if you have the toss, it just makes things even better.
I've just realized this is like the derby, which means like when when one team plays up against like their rival team.
Yeah.
Because Bonkers, the manager of Nip,
Yeah.
is also the manager of Ad Finum, the Greeks. So this is the Bonkers derby.
True. True. I didn't actually even think about it. I was just
shout
talking
out
with
to
Bonkers. Shout out to Bonkers, man.
Bonkers the derby. This is the Bonkers derby. Oh mate.
I was just talking with him during the break, and I was like, I didn't even think about it. It's like,
well, yeah, I just realized. There you go.
Well,
who's gonna win the Bonkers derby?
The fact check of the day.
I hope he buys a trophy for this. This in itself it's like bloody TI finals.
This is like
what we have to say. What we need to do for this game. We have to try and fit in the phrase "that's bonkers," because bonkers is like that's you know what it means, right? It's it's like that's stupid, that's crazy, it's like whoa, that's bonkers, that shouldn't happen. So we need to fit that into the cast to truly show respect to the derby.
Yeah, and to the gentleman himself as well. He's done a brilliant job as a coach overall. He's like people rarely even know like who is this coach, who is that coach. Like does this team even have a coach? But I can tell you that Bonkers
is the manager. He's the manager slash he helps
coaches,
with analytics.
managers, yeah. But still, people don't know who's who. Still,
yeah, that is true. That is true. But big man Bonkers though, big man Bonkers. Anyway, we've got a game to talk about. Look at the rotation on mid. The Ember coming in with the Avalanche. Trying to do some play-by-play. Don't know why I am doing that.
It's fine. It's fine. That Flame Guard does soak up most of the magical damage, though. Even with a Decrepify on, it felt like Supreme's not taking any damage. Like, he soaked up a Nether Blast, he soaked up a level 1 Avalanche and a Toss, but still, Decrepify, that's, what, 40% increased magical damage taken, but it felt like, no, he's not taking any. Well, that's decent. Now, Misha getting jumped on by Focus, and the jump, the Acros dive, actually, from Spartan, but Misha doesn't get hit by the Fire Spirit, so he will live. Saber Light keeping the distance. Stamanen also takes away the Illusion Rune, which Era also came to contest. So no action runes for the mid heroes. Ember with an empty bottle, Wish with an empty bottle. Rough times.
So the way that Tiny was rotating mid, he was trying to unlock the runes basically for Wish, but Era just coming in a little bit later, just securing that bot rune. Pretty nice. And yeah, it's so difficult to play for the runes, especially when your supports are this active, and you got to give props to Era and for Tiny, both making the same rune-based plays.
Bit of a... Now I could say this is a three-peat from the previous series. No kills in the first 5 minutes, so... Very calm start once again.
Are you gonna curse it?
I hope. Maybe in like the next game we could see like a first blood happen early on, but it's been... well, this is the 4th game now with no kills in the first 5 minutes, and it ends up being a really big slaughter fest.
That's what Nip will be looking towards. It's that kind of slow starter into just that desire to go fight. And Brame, on the other hand, they're going to look to counter that aggression, try and then wait. Once they have Decisive on PA, then they can unlock Roshan and they'll make their plays there. So we are going to see, how does Nip defend the early towers against Pyjamas? How does Nip go for that all-out aggression? Because if they get a good pick-off, they go Roshan straight away. And Focus getting hit in the top lane doesn't really care, because Fire Spirits, no damage.
Not enough. Close attempt.
Not enough.
Triple last hit lead as well for Brame. It's still very, very tight. Morphling's the only one falling slightly behind. Not too bad, though. Just your casual Morphling. 365 movement speed, Tiny. Rolling your way. Focus is almost level 6, same with Slardar. When you get that crit on PA, it does enable quite a lot. It's not the massivest damage spike. Like if you think about somebody hitting a level 3 or a level 4 ability with like a lot of magical damage, or increasing a extra second for your stun or something, those are like the really big ones. But you add in like a lot of crits, bit of RNG might just go your way, and a level 6 kill might be really big. Like, but PA doesn't get like that massive boost from his level 1 ulti that early into the game.
Yeah, for sure not. It's very much a... Yeah, cool, I'm 6 now. It's a support killer play, that's about it. Oh, Supreme, they were rotation.
Yeah,
he's a core killer.
He's 7. Focus, quick jump on Spartan. Alright, well, he submits to his fate.
That was like the... Oh, wait, but the... Oh, okay. Oof. I was like, mid, are they prepared for the Remnant? But they... Nah, it wasn't. Just, like, the upset in your voice when it's like, oh, well, that's first blood. Oh, okay. PA's dead. Alright, 7 minutes. Alright.
Yeah, just a
Pretty
casual
bored.
pick.
Can I get some kills, please? Alright.
It's a big pick. It's a big pick, but you know.
Alright.
We'll just, you know, observe and watch. Well, maybe we'll get more. Who knows? At least there's a double stack there. Spartan is farming it with the Ray, while Misha is just overcharging right next to the Burb. Trying to right click away, but Io can't finish off the job.
The best thing is, like, obviously it's 5 minutes delay, so I'm now reading Twitch chat. It's like, who the hell is what are these guys talking? Who the hell are bonkers? What's a bonkers? What is a bonkers?
Yeah, what is that? Is it edible? Is that a term for a hero spell?
Can I eat it?
But that proves my point exactly. People don't know the people behind the scenes, the important
exactly,
people.
Of course. But you know what? Spartan's behind the scenes of his tier 1 getting killed, so maybe we shouldn't know about the behind the scenes. Alright, anyway, Saberlight, pressure in this top tower. PA has been relegated to the jungle because it doesn't really do much in lane now against the against a Slaughter.
I know, but wishes with an Invis rune right next to some very precarious targets onto the IO. Okay, that dagger's not really going to do any damage, and Saberlight just crazy amounts of attack speed. Gets the bashes to cancel Pugna's ultimate, but still Misha's down. Saberlight being chased up, Decrepify slow, the blast coming out as well, and the toss into the air. Make this game 2-2. 2 kills from the top lane, going for Wish and Focus.
Now it's a good rotation from Brame. Just like bringing all the lads up, because this is like the dead lane for them, where Slaughter can just exist now. If they don't bring the correct amount of heroes to the lane, it could just become a Morph farming bot, Slaughter's pressuring top. Oh wait, we're now all in the jungle. So Brame just identify the fact that they have to just go fight top, get the kills, and punish the over-aggression from the Slaughter.
Yeah. Well, at least Slaughter is still able to come back here into top, like 4K net worth. Morphling, 200 gold behind. Still sitting 6th in net worth, but PA is not having a great time either, so they're very, very close to each other's. E-Blade Morphling or no for Charlie this game?
I would expect him most likely to go for it, just for the ability to blow up the heroes, because it's very much a game of if you get the jump, you can, you know, surprise them.
See,
Tiny... And also you have a lot of physical damage. Oh yeah, Tiny, sorry buddy.
He did get to snatch the action rune away, gets the arcane, but unable to run away from Era and Supreme. Meanwhile, in top, though, Brame might have something up their sleeve. They see a level 5 IO right in front of them with no relocate, so they're going to instantly punish this IO for a kill. They got the Rupture as well. Slardar does get the stun out, and they have the manpower. Brame. They take Misha, they take Saberlight, and again, it's a kill for Focus and a kill from Wish. Exactly the same thing that happened like a minute ago.
It's very good for the idea of stopping Slaughter having this, you know, free lane, and also this tower is about to fall. They are going to be able to get this deny on the top tier 1. My concern with it is it's so much aggression, so many heroes being brought top. You allow for this Morphling just to free farm bottom. You allow for this Ember to do whatever he wants. Like, he's going for treads, Maelstrom, he's doing whatever he wants, right? So it's Brame v2 right now, and that just plays really well into what Nip wants to achieve in the big picture of the game.
Oh yeah. Era is coming in very aggressively and walks straight into the hands of 3 Brame heroes, and you know, just slowly burned to death. But the regen from Misha is really good though. Then another jump coming in as well. Supreme trying to make his way out and should be able to, but still Clockwork down, IO down. Brame getting some important pickoffs. Tiny bit of harass here onto the Ember Spirit, but Ember's fine. This might turn into a mid-tower push, though. Charlie looks to be alright and as focused. Both the carries are now farming in this bottom lane while the action's happening in mid. NIP, they're going to have their heroes back up. IO, still no level 6. They don't have relocate for it, but they might have to fight to defend this mid tower if Brame decide to make the push for it. They weakened the tower. They forced the glyph out. They might make a play for it. You really need to hit those levels.
Or they might not.
They might, yeah, they might not right now, but they know the glyph is out. The next push they do, NIP might just have to stack to defend that tower. Stamanen is looking for something here. He runs into Charlie. Oh no!
Oh, Charlie.
Well, Stamanen was on the other side of the obs ward, so they didn't know that the Tiny was lurking in the trees, and he finds himself a freebie.
Good old freebie, eh? Oh, look at the combo. The Sada, Io, the river monsters.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. So I'll actually go for a Glimmer Cape first. That's very cool. The amount of big magic damage coming from Dart. I like the idea of like a cheap pickup and you go and fight with it. And like we saw how the big pro teams, of course, you know, Nip being one of them, they like to itemize for, like, for example, if you want to go for a quick fight, supports by ghosts, supports by glimmers, you know, same thing. And why not on your offlaner, if you know that your cores are unable to buy or your supports are unable to buy these items, just pick it up, get that kind of utility into the team. Because I goes for mech, Slaughter gets the glimmer, Clockwork maybe can go for a vessel eventually. Now you have these 3 supporting items that will amplify your Ember Morphling in the engagement. So yeah, I actually really like the idea of just going for a cheap utility item on the Slaughter.
Networth has been bouncing back and forth. They're very close to each other. It's 3-7 on the scoreboard, 10 kills in 13 minutes. So we're looking at a bit under 1 of an average for kills per minute. Might ramp up in the coming minutes since our Morphling and our PA are still looking for their timings. A few more minutes to go for them.
Yeah, I think Charlie's a bit disgruntled after that kill. He is going for the E-Blade, going for that pick, that kind of explosive potential.
Yeah, it's a good surprise element as well, because once you show it, you know how much damage it kind of does. If it doesn't work on the first time, your opponent's going to feel a lot more comfortable. Like, okay, the E-Blade doesn't kill you right away. It has a mental factor.
Spawn's not going to have that conversation. He's going to be just dead. No. I think Pugna might be fine, depending on the situation. Bloodseeker, he's going to have Greaves, maybe a pipe soon, but realistically, Nip are still slow burning. They're getting their way. They're eventually going to hit this timing of aggression, you know. Solar, Glimmer, then Ags. The Morphling with his E-Blade. Ember going for the Maelstrom. Like, they're all going for greedier, bigger items that will eventually then pay off. Because once we have the Maelstrom Mules, the E-Blade on Morph, and the Ags on Slardar, that timing is going to be insanely strong. Because, like, if you look at PA, for example...
Look at mid right now.
I'm looking.
Also, there's a bottom situation might be rolling out, but Era is in the tree. Stamanen finds him. The Avalanche. The toss comes out. Very low HP on the Clockwork. Instant spell reactions coming in, so you can see that Pyjamas ward is just blowing up. The egg will be thrown up, but it's not going to be a good one. It's not going to catch anyone. The Rupture will be thrown onto Saberlight, who safely walks back away. Has the Glimmer Cape Skylark. He is afraid to go in. The Rupture... Sorry, not the Rupture, the relocate back to base, but Wish will finish off the tower, and this was exactly the play from Brame. They knew that the glyph was down, they would push that tower, force NIP for a move, but they made the move first before NIP could react to it.
I will say, though, that engagement is worrying for Brame, because even though they get that tower, it's the demonstration of limited control that does... go into Nip's favor. You see that, like, they use the egg, they use the Rupture, but Nip just goes, alright, we're just gonna walk away then, why not?
But they're gonna go in again and they will find Era. Spartan though. The big nuke coming in on this Phoenix, but Phoenix is gonna dive. Wait, he dives back
he came back?
What, he came back? Not like this. Skylark. It's also half HP, but the toss combo comes out again from Stamanen, and Saberlight will fall. Supreme still observing, and here comes Charlie. Right click's going away, and Charlie with a double kill takes Skylark, and now Wish trying to go for the TP out. Not going to be able to. The cancel from Charlie comes out, and Supreme is right there. Misha's right there. It will follow this Pugna to the death. A little bit of regen coming in from that heal, but it's not going to be enough. Charlie with a triple kill, and a triple kill towards a hero who is still building an E-Blade. That's a lot of money for a hero. like Morphling.
Poor old Brame. They try making the cool play. They had the Decrep Avalanche toss combo, but that's all they have. And now, oh, he's going to die in the bot lane. 200 gold away from his Blink Dagger. Oh, this feels bad. This feels really bad.
Yeah, he didn't actually get punished for more than like 50 gold. He's got 1,000 reliable gold right now, so he didn't really lose that much.
Alright, but the PA now has the Battle Fury.
It's still a death. Yeah.
It is still a death on the Tiny, but I think that like the saving grace is you do have this Battle Fury on PA. You are going to have this Deso coming in, and you are going to be able to mirror the timings of Nip. But the key thing for Brame is their limited control. They have to make sure their jump is really good, you know? They have to make sure the PA jumps in, you have this Tiny supporting him, and then suddenly you don't have lockdown, but Nip can never really get out the fight because they're already aggressed on. They have to commit to it. So maybe that could be Brame's saving grace.
Well, still a bit of a waiting feeling for both teams as well, knowing that of mechanisms on both sides. A few other items are kicking in. The E-Blade and the Guardian Greaves kicking at the same time for the Bloodseeker. I mean the GGs for the Bloodseeker, and then we got the E-Blade for the Morphling. And here we go, the hook shot will connect onto Wish, and Pugnet gets pushed away. The Force Staff by him gets him to safety. Stomanen goes in for the defensive toss on Era. Era finally ends up melting down. Saberlight gets a stun onto Spartan. Spartan trying to make a run for it. Pops the egg. Saberlight will focus it. Skylark is trying to put some aggression onto it, but he won't be able to save the egg, and the egg goes off, and Misha comes in with a regen for the mechanism as well. And Skylark, he does manage to hold his ground as Misha goes down. Saberlight holding hell into place, and now his Rupture finally runs out, so he's able to blink away back to safety. NIP are down by 2 heroes, but Charlie has his E-Blade ready again. The NIP might still end up having the stronger side of this fight. We'll have to wait and see. Skylark, he is in an aggressive position. Very good jump from Stomanen with a toss, and the Avalanche. The silence is out as well. Morphling very low on HP. He's got stick charges though, and he is able to run away to safety. Supreme is holding the front line now, able to dodge one blast, and his last remnant will be enough to take him back to safety. So they're baiting a bit from Brame here. They're not really forcing too much. Neither side losing a hero there at the B engagement.
Do you really think people from game 1 still understand the B engagement?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I really hope they do. I hope that just becomes a thing. Like in post-game analysis, it's like... So, watching this fight, the A fight was really beautiful, but that B engagement, not so much. The C fight really did pick up for that team. So, I think Team Secret is really a fight A engagers.
It could be, but
Brame, though, all about the B.
Let's see if we get to see the C, because we're in Roche right now. Very quickly going down with Charlie, hitting away Slardar's ulti. The Corrosive Haze dropping that armor from Roche, and it goes down really quickly. Stomanen might find a pick on Supreme, but they're able to get this Roche. They're actually able to get it. They don't even get the steal, or do they? They don't get the kill, and Charlie will take down the Spartan as well. The stun helping helped by Saberlight there. But even if they lose the Ember Spirit, they secure the Roche, they secure the Aegis, and don't lose too much on top of that. Morphling is on a very good roll for this game.
Yeah, they're not having that bad of a time. I think this is what Nip wants to play into. You see their aggression previously. It's like, well, we're forcing you to use your Rupture, your egg. And once that's down, we're going to utilize our Slardar, instantly go to an objective that we need in the game to push through. And they, yeah. Oh, what's he doing? Is he hunting? He's hunting.
On the hunt. He's on the hunt. He's on the hunt. There's nobody near.
Copyright.
Banana. No.
That's so anticlimactic.
Come on. That's
whatever.
Such a tease, this man. Now he's waiting for a remnant to jump on top of him, but... Well, they don't know him. They don't see him. He could just blink on Supreme. He's gonna have to wait for that Flame Guard to go off, though. And...
Oh.
It's gone.
By far the most anticlimactic Invis rune I've ever seen. But realistically, he probably should have never jumped anyone, because Ember could have just jumped over. Like, it could have just gone alright. But this top fight, this is the key fight. Brame? My brain just lagged super hard there. Brame. Their issue now is, it's going to be so hard to kill the Morphling, not only once, but twice with the Aegis. They might just have to give up a lot of map control. Unless PA gets some, like, insane jump on IO to, like, open up the fight.
Radiant's bottom tower under fire.
Very close to each other's now, Saberlight. Smoked up Misha. Charlie's there, still holding the Aegis. It's the Monon, it's the Spartan, Wish, right inside the tree line. Supreme is right next to him. Sunray. Trying to do a bit of damage from max range onto Morphling, but Era... Oh. Alright, well, we got a tiny bit of a pause here.
Oh, we have some lag.
Have some lag, but PA is not there yet. PA is going for Aghanims here, which is a very interesting item. Interesting as in it's not unheard of. A lot of people do it, and in the right games, it can pay off. But what is your take on the Aghs PA? Do you like it or do you hate it?
It's very much a... You want to chain lots of fights together, right? And you get to really be in and out because you get that quick kill. Suddenly, guess what? Your spells are reset. You're going again, right? And also, I love the cooldown reduction on Blur. Like that's such an underrated part of the Aghanim. It's the fact that you get to just run around, basically invis the entire time. And in this type of game, where they're looking to pick off, it could be really, really good. So I honestly, I like the Aghs a lot.
Charlie this time doesn't have too much agility, Morph this time. All right.
Yeah, you're not really killing him with Tiny anymore. That ship has sailed, to be clear.
That ship has sailed. Yeah, he's not... Charlie, he's prone to not do the same mistake twice. It's his only death this entire game. That one death in his own jungle. Maybe some smoke action. Not quite yet. Still waiting to dry out that Aegis from NIP, Brame. They're just deciding to stick as 4 heroes here in this topside jungle. Supreme will reveal himself in top. Very difficult target to jump to. We'll actually take the confrontation here with Focus jumping into the lane. But nothing really breaks
loose.
Playing
so defensive now on Dire. They're just basically hugging their towers, hoping that Nip don't just have this like overwhelming collapse through the map. So this is pretty much now the PA farm show, and then a lot of lads waiting for PA to be ready.
Skylark is hiding all the way inside the tree line. Charlie's just gonna start chewing through this tower slowly but surely. The rest of Brame, he still needs 1.5 minutes to try and dodge this Aegis without losing too much. They are looking to lose this top tower. Yeah, Skylark also TPs away, so that creep wave will eventually hit the tower. So they'll get the top tier 2. Can they get another tower with it? Doesn't look like it. Bottom is pushed in. Mid is pushing in as well. So they either force a fight after that, or then they just let the Aegis expire.
Probably it's in their best bet to let the Aegis expire and like soft defend top and then play, because like Aegis is going to be lost in 30 seconds or 50 seconds.
Oh,
so, Spartan! Oh, the flare!
All right. Well, that was unheard of, but it happens. Sometimes it happens. You get a bit lucky there. You thought you were safe for a second, but nope.
Oh no! Now Tiny's getting killed in his endeavor to skip the waves. Goodbye, Tiny.
We have seen Stamanen move around this area before. Well, it's suddenly 11 to 12. 2 quick kills for NIP. Aegis gonna run out in 15 seconds, and they get to push in the mid wave, so they might keep on going. There's a DD rune also picked up by Supreme into the bottle. 23 seconds for Tiny to be up.
Fight.
Brame has to be careful.
Into this area as well. They're posturing for a defense, but realistically, without the Tiny, they have no initiator.
Smoke on smoke action. Era will find the Spartans. He goes for the ward. The jump coming in, however, and the quick blow up, and Phoenix is out. They managed to get the jump in first, and Phoenix was backtracking, trying to get that high ground ward, knowing his smoke already popped. The enemy's on the high ground. Their Aegis is expiring, or has just expired, but still decides to stay in the area. Gets quickly blown up.
It was very interesting to see Brame actually want to position that kind of aggressively in their own area, because this Tricamp is such a fortified position that any like aggressive team will want to hold. So it's very interesting to see Spartan even try and place a ward here, as if there wouldn't be this like morphling of an E-Blade just ready to blow you up.
Charlie, Supreme on the right side. Focus goes for the jump on Saberlight. Bit of damage coming out. It's going to be enough. Focus will find one. NIP still up with 4 heroes. Focus on the chase. Now the turn around. The hook shot from Era. Catches Pugna at least. And onto the backline. Focus dropping very low in HP. Still got 800. He's got that Axe on this PA. He's able to refresh his abilities. If he only finds a kill, and there's the egg. Drop down. And NIP, they see it fit to disengage from this. Supreme gets home. Very close.
They tried. Now the D ward. Okay, now Brame needs to get out of this area. They need to really try and like push out and achieve something.
They just lost their egg. They need to find some retaliation, some revenge. And Charlie might be it. Stomanen in the trees. PA coming in from the side. There's the combo coming out. Charlie does get the strength morph out just in time. A tree toss onto IO, but he doesn't take any damage with the Dirk Repper. Finds Supreme. Now the jump coming in as well from Saberlight straight on top of Wish. And Saberlight, he's still holding on top of him. Supreme is also burning very low on HP. The hook shot coming in as well. Saberlight's already taken down by Focus. Era trying to keep the fight choke pointed onto the high ground with the cog zoning him inside. And Focus finds Supreme. NIP down with 2. This is what Brame wanted. This is what Brame got.
What? Yeah. Wow. Like, I think the counterplay to Nip is when Nip aren't the aggressors who are able to make the jump, then it does, you know, allow Brame to actually kind of dismantle Nip, because you have this blurred PA cutting in. You have this Tiny looking for the same kill. So yeah, this game honestly is the battle of who makes the jump first. And right now, Brame are the ones making the jumps.
Yeah, Focus is just relentlessly keeping up the chase. Oh.
He gets Misha, but he doesn't, you know, get Misha. He got Misha.
Yeah.
Now Misha's just kind of chilling.
If only the avalanche would have connected on the edge. But it didn't, so Morphling gets to teleport back home. Suddenly the stalemate of this game has actually been broken, and Brame, despite NIP picking up the Aegis, it's Brame who are looking strong at the moment. Can this still turn?
The key thing is, the way that Brame played around that Aegis, they opened up the map. They didn't fight head-on into the Aegis, and they allowed Nip to have the area control that you get with an Aegis. So it was very good from Brame, just identifying the fact that we don't need to fight into this. We're still going to hit A timing to play into, and their lineup is the aggressors. If they make the jump, they can get the kills. But if they get jumped, if this Phoenix, you know, the egg doesn't go off, or the Tiny can't get the good jump, then suddenly that's when, you know, Nip will be amplified. So sure, it's 5k up for Brame, but it's very much a 50-50 game right now.
Completely undetected though, unless they saw it with this ops ward placed inside the jungle, because it does feel like Brame know about this Roche attempt going down. Already over halfway, very close for Brame. They need to go in right now, and doesn't look like it's going to happen. NIP are going to secure this Roshan, and this might even favor them because they just pick it up and they get the fight to break loose at the same time. The egg will be forced inside the river, and the Morphling will go straight to hit it, and then we'll take it down as well. Skylark just tries to walk back into the fight, but it's not going to happen. The toss will come out as well, and Era very low on HP, but he will be blown up by Wish, and the illusions are doing a lot of damage, and Charlie goes back into the fight. He does get critted instantly by Focus on the first hit, but he will not lose his Aegis now. Brame have to trade a 1-for-1. They lose the egg. They don't get to contest the Aegis, and NIP, well, I could almost say that's a bit of a sigh of relief. Because these engagements, at least the secondary fights, the fight Bs haven't been going in their way. But this one, the timing on Roche, it was just what it was supposed to be, because they got Brame close enough.
Like, whew. This is what I mean in terms of that, like, who starts the fight, and you gotta give Nip the fact they have this Slardar. They just identify it. Is Tiny gonna get out? Oh, he didn't have mana for the Yules on Ember Spirit, unfortunately. He was staring him in the eyes, locked in, but unfortunately didn't have the Yules available. But anyways, yeah, like Nip, they have this Slardar. It's basically the hero that goes, "Hey buddy, you want Roshan? You want Roshan? Yeah." It takes like 3 seconds. Are you sure? 3 seconds? Yeah. Just hit Roshan. Like, it's great. So Nip identify that, and Brame, they weren't ready for it. They just weren't in position, because they could easily fight at the Rosh pit, but Nip identify that small window, they go for it, don't get punished, and now again we're gonna have another Nip Aegis. And this next fight's gonna be a lot harder, because we're gonna have Ember Spirit with the BKB. Slardar soon will be completing the Ags, so yeah. This game does get scarier and scarier for Brame. But like I've said a lot of times now, it's about who jumps who first. primarily, I would say, after the age expires, that's when Brame will look to make their jump. Right now, Nip will just be hunting, and Wish needs a second, but he didn't say why. I really does he need to go to the toilet? Does he need to go on Dota buff to check what item he needs to buy?
Who knows? Who knows? Well,
He is
a
buying
tiny...
Hex.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea, to be honest. I think that's one of the more important items against, like, a Morphling, for example. Maybe even, like, against an IO, just to prevent him from using Mechanism and the relocate. Get that quick kill. But then again, like, who are the guys usually running in from running into the fight first? It's either Tiny and the Bloodseeker. Most cases it might just be the PA, but it's really never the Pugna who's first in the fight. So your Hex is more it's more of a situational timed usage of it for that crucial like 3 seconds. But it's not like you start with the Hex and you go from there.
No. He's gonna be like the fight construct will be Tiny Pierre jumping in, Bloodseeker kind of like in the middle throwing blood rights, and then Pugna is that kind of cushioned hero where if they ever jump in, you have that Hex and they can all turn around onto the Hex target. So it's kind of like your defensive Hex for sure. It's going to be very good though, especially against like the Ember and the Morph. They commit in, they suddenly don't BKB, and then you layer that Hex in. That could be the window that the PA needs, for example, to get the big explosive damage off.
Charlie still sitting at 5-1-2. Only one death this game. Has picked up 2 Aegises so far. But that's Scotty coming up. His courier is already going towards the secret shop. One big stat item to pick up for this hero. Makes that E-Blade even a bit stronger, but that E-Blade is going to wear off in a sense. It does amplify the adaptive strike a lot and all the magical damage that they can throw onto them, but it's still an item that kind of might just wear off. It does become a good control item though, but it's a Spartan. Gets the egg off, and Charlie comes in to help Supreme. Is tanking a lot of hits, but he also gets a lot of healing coming in. And the egg goes off in the end, and Saberlight is dead. They cannot get it. They cannot get it, and they will chase NIP. Supreme will almost bleed to death with the Force Staff Rupture and sucked away. There's the Aegis pop as well. The Morphling in trouble, surrounded by Brames 4, even 5 heroes. Well, the relocate save comes in at least. But oh man.
They're looking to kill the IO too.
They want to get it. Stomanen is ready with a blink toss. Combos are kicking in. The avalanche is there. They don't even need to toss. They don't even need to toss their way out. Focus wants to go for more. He wants to play aggressive.
Why not? I really wish that these are the type of games that like you had the player camps, because I feel like Spartan as a player, you know, he's just like screaming like egg, you know, like he's got the passion in him, you know.
Yeah.
I bet he's got it, and I could feel it. Like I had flashbacks to like Boston. I don't know why. I know this game is in no way anything relative to that, but I was like, just good to see
the jump on Saberlight in the back though. Focus. He can't find him because of the Glimmer Cape, and Morphling also very low on HP. The silence is there, but he's got the Manta just because of that. I can remove those silences away. Keep Brame at bay for now, but that tier 3 tower is about to go down. Focus will take it. Will they stay for more? And he will decide to back away for now. Maybe NIP can find a chase and kill. It's a fake back from Brame. Let's see if somebody falls for the. Let's see if somebody falls for the trap.
Good old classic play, honestly, the old fake back. But yeah, this PA has got to the point of being so goddamn
Charlie's
strong.
coming in. Charlie's coming in.
Yeah,
He's got no Manta. He's got no Manta right now. When Focus goes for the jump in, he doesn't do much, but there's the hook shot. The backline is in trouble. The egg will go up, but this time they will be able to destroy it, and the egg will not benefit Brame this time. Era in very big trouble, low on HP. He's able to put the cogs down once again for the zoning, but it's not going to be enough. Era is out. Stomanen will die to Charlie. They're still fighting. The relocate will bring 2 heroes back, and now Charlie and Saberlight. It's just the 2 of them here to keep up this pressure. The relocate still needs like 3 more seconds, but the distance is too high. NIP, they won't go into enemy territory, but they take down 2. This time they get the egg out of the way. Do they get more? They're smoked up, looking for more kills. Oh no! Saberlight goes for the stun. They find Focus. They got the corrosive haze. He will instantly purge it away. And finally, Focus jumps back to his teammate. Skylark is there, still chasing up. Maybe now. The Yule's into the air. They might find Focus. Can they get him this time? He's escaped 3 or 4 times, and he still keeps on doing it. Saberlight, the Lotus Orb comes in as well. The corrosive haze bouncing backwards onto Saberlight. They cannot get Focus. He wants to go into the fight as well. And he's getting healed up by his partner at the same time. Saberlight, he gets back to the high ground. Focus is there. He sees all of these teleports go out, and they just can't kill this PA. He keeps on disengaging. He keeps on being evasive, and this PA lives and lives and lives.
Yeah, this PA, he's juking and jiving, you know, like dodgeball, where it's just like the spanners being thrown. This guy is, whew, good old Focus. Mate, this got, like, gotta give it to him. He is nearly unkillable, I think, right now, because Morphling does tiddly twat to a PA with his items. With Skadi, E-Blade, Manta, there's no way you're gonna chunk through a PA, especially when you have the Satanic, where even if you do go low, you're just gonna hit it back up. And a failed hook shot from Era.
Hook shot onto his own teammate. The Glimmer Cape on the Morphling, though, and full strength gain. Absolute full strength gain. Focus on the back line. There's the Ghost Scepter. Keep the IO alive just a bit longer. Here comes the Avalanche. Actually, by Charlie. Now comes Stomanen's Avalanche, and Focus wants to kill Era, but he's also going to go Scepter. So you ain't hitting this target either.
Like, alright, I don't know if you're looking at that. Focus literally spent that entire time inside Cogs, just farming the Cogs.
Oh, IO. IO. He's got no tether. He's got no tether. He's got nowhere to go. They're going to use Rupture and everything just to make sure this IO doesn't jump away. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Full focus.
And when this PA gets the Nullifier as well, that's going to completely pick apart the chance, like the soft saves that come in the utility. Yeah. And it's going to be very scary. Like, you got to think about how do they kill PA. Like, realistically, if we brainstorm it right now, if NiP want to kill PA, they need to somehow crush into Ember Remnants plus an E-Blade, and that alone doesn't kill the PA. I actually don't think NiP have the damage right now to kill the PA. Like, their window to kill Brame and punish them was earlier on, during the point in which they didn't have these items, this, you know, fully farmed up PA. So unfortunately for NiP, this is going to be such a difficult window.
A lot of pinging, a lot of scanning. Saberlight misses the stun, but he sees the TP and he instantly wants to get out of the Hex on Supreme. Supreme, oh no. Oh no.
The Hex. Really good pickup from Wish.
Ember's gone for 70 seconds.
He's deleted, mate.
But on the positive side, Roche will not be up by the time Ember is alive again. 2 minutes.
I was honestly concerned that the Brame's lack of lockdown would be the kind of the issue with their lineup, but then it's kind of just completely cushioned by the itemization from PA. The fact that she went for this Ags, Satanic, and now Nullifier, she's basically forcing out all these fights, and like there's no way in which NiP can go stop running at us, and you don't need stuns when you're literally able just to blow them up. So I really love what they've done with their lineup and how they got around some of their weaknesses, and they've now itemized really well to now just play super aggressive in their face. And Spartan, when he gets level 18 as well with the 3 points in egg, this is going to be difficult for NiP for sure. They're going to have to find like the perfect fight.
And it's always like when you see that level 3 egg, you're like, all right, boys, I feel like we should just leave it and get away. And that's what Brame want to do. They want to keep you around. They just want to throw those shackles onto your feet, just keep pulling you back in. Like, you're not going anywhere. That's like Tiny's job, you know, just keep the avalanche, just keep the tosses flowing. Prevent them from getting anywhere, because you have to fully commit once that egg goes out if you have people nearby. Otherwise, you're gonna get hurt a lot. But it's not just the egg. The egg is only one piece of the puzzle that they need to figure out. Still, this game has been at least money-wise very even for a bit here, for a few more minutes, but it might come to a change.
It could.
Just look at this.
You say that.
Look at
I kind of think Brame. They're so confident. They're so confident.
Look at the way they're positioning here as well. Like, They're not even relying on the top side. They're more coming onto this right side where NIP is also coming from. Stomanen found in the trees. The combo comes out, but they're unable to get the blow on Tiny. And the egg is also blowing up on the background, and it will go off. Saberlight will die. Charlie BKB's up. He's got the entire Brame team on top of him. Supreme tries to help him out, but Charlie, he's got not that many options to go for. He goes for the high ground, tries to get to disengage away. Supreme pops his BKB, but he just gets crit alive. That is bonkers.
That's what we like to see.
That crit came out of nowhere, and it hurt even more than we were thinking about. Like, Ember just feels like a piece of paper even with that plate mail in his inventory.
25 talent, it's disgusting. You literally, it's explosive.
Big difficulties.
This PA is an unkillable beast.
Oh, they are. As we hit the 40-minute mark here, NIP, they've got 2 buybacks. The Slardar and the IO. They've lost 1.5 lanes of racks. And Brame are happy to leave the scene straight towards the Roche pit. There is a...
there's a DD as well. The question is,
Bloodseeker has his
do
courier,
they have a bottle?
Bloodseeker has a courier in the pit, but it doesn't show Roche. It's too far away. But they don't know Roche is actually up.
Oh, they don't. Oh no.
Maybe
the flare. They'll be like,
now that they throw the flare, now they see that Roche is up. It's right there. And NIP, are we gonna see a Hail Mary play? Yep, they're TPing in towards mid. A smoke on IO.
They have to. It's a DDPA. Like, this is a free Roshan.
They have to.
I don't think they can fight this at all.
They are not, they're not going. They're gonna leave it.
Yeah.
That might just be it. This just might be it, you know, like, I mean, I don't think they can contest it, but their chances of winning the next fight just went down by a lot. We have a double egg on Phoenix. We have a rapier on PA who already hits a disgusting amount of damage. You have a gem on the Tiny, so they can't use that Glimmer Cape for safety. And there we go. The Rapier DDPA is here. Charlie jumping on the back line. The stun from Saberlight, and they take down one. They get at least the egg is out of the way, but this is so big for them. Charlie needs to keep himself alive. Ruptured up, and Focus is right-clicking away, but here's Misha coming in for the regen as well, trying to keep him alive. Saberlight is he's trying to take the Nether Ward down on the left side of the fight, and instantly Brame recognize how vulnerable they are when that Phoenix disappeared. Phoenix flies back. They're gonna go for it. They're gonna go again.
They're gonna have to, because Spartan just kind of stood there and he was like, what do I do? Bang, I'm dead. So hopefully in the second engagement he can actually get his spells off and be in a good position.
They are gonna try and go again. Brame on the low ground. Phoenix is almost there on the high ground position. And Focus slices down the tower. Saberlight needs to get something out. Charlie waiting on the right side. Rupture on Supreme. Focus still hitting the melee racks. It's gonna look like Megas soon. There's still the range in mid, so it's not gonna be Megas after this building, but that is the last melee racks, at least for NIP. And after this one, it's Mega Creeps for Brame. And now the Hex on Morphling, the jump on Arrow on the backline, and they will take the Clockwork down with no buyback. And here comes Charlie all the way back to the fountain, and they've got Saberlight all alone in the front line. They do force out the egg. The heals coming in from Misha, and here comes the Spartan. He's got the second egg, and this one, they need to get this one down. The BKB will be popped as well. They will take down the egg, and that's actually a Phoenix dieback coming in. Focus, does he have any backup from his teammate? He will turn around to fight against the heroes of NIP. Supreme dropping really low on HP. They've got the toss coming out as well. Saberlight is still holding alive. He's got that puddle, a lot of HP regen, but that tier 4 tower is going to go down. It's going to be the first one. There's a second one still up. Saberlight going to get some hits onto Puck. Now the backline. Charlie coming in as well, trying to get a few hits in. He's got that E-Blade ready in 1 second, but it goes straight towards, actually, that's the adaptive strike that hits the Aeon disc. So there goes the E-Blade onto Focus. He dispels it away. Saberlight will go down. The toss coming in from Charlie. Focus has the blow to sword. Will throw him back into the air as well. He gets bounced up by another stun. They get the Aegis out of the way at least, but Charlie's at half HP. Needs to quickly get back to the fountain, regen up, and then go again. But can they do it? NIP, they're running out of tools. They're running out of heroes. They're going to lose another one. It's going to be the dieback here from Slardar unless they get the stun onto the PA. The Hex coming in as well at the same time onto Charlie, and Charlie will get crit down, and he's trying to hold his ground, but it's not going to be enough for him. Or he gets another waveform out of the fight. Tiny trying to make his way out from Saberlight. There's another soul right on the ground, and now
now focus, crits away Saberlight. That's a dieback. That's going to be another one down as they get the Yules. They get the Ember into the air, and the blast is going to be enough, and the Ancient is open, and they will take it. Brame taking game one here against NIP, unless something happens. Let's not take it too fast here. Charlie's still trying to go for the chase, as Skylark is the only one hitting the Ancient right now. Another hookshot coming in from Arrow as well. 200 HP, 250 HP, and Skylark will go down. Arrow's also dead, but the Ancient will finally fall, and Brame, they take game one.
Yeah, they do. Will they take game two? I don't know. This was a really, really good game from the lads, honestly. My initial read on the game was going to be NiP were going to have a beautiful timing of just swarm and go and fight, but that never really happened. They had an Aegis. They got that first Aegis, right? They was unlocked due to the Slardar, but it didn't feel like they were, you know, decisive enough with it. They weren't able to truly shut down the map. So then we had this moment where the PA got her Battle Fury, got her Deso, suddenly bought Ags, and then she just kept farming and farming, and NiP were unable to ever truly punish, and that kind of shocked me a little bit. And overall, just Brame just played a really good game, and Mr. Reflex, aka Focus, just stellar stuff. Like, to be fair, you look at the deaths, right? Spartan sporting 10, everyone else was on like 1 or 2, technically Tiny's on 4, but like Spartan just tanked a lot. And then Pugna, Bloodseeker, and PA, they just had really, really good games. Just got to give it to Brame. I honestly didn't think that this series would go Brame favored. I honestly thought NiP were just a little bit too, disciplined, I guess. But
yeah, I think what we're trying to say here is we weren't expecting Brame to start with the victories. We were maybe thinking it might go to 3 maps, but NIP most likely takes the first one. Instead, it goes upside down, and Brame deliver an upset here, since they are the open qualifier team to participate in here. What do you think about NIP? Like, I still think Charlie still did the things he was supposed to do. I think he played all right here. You only had that one death, but was there something that you were missing from NIP here?
Yeah, I think that's when you look back at their lineup. During the draft, I mentioned that this opening PA phase where you see the Slardar already. It's like it's already, you're showing your hand because you don't care about seeing the Slardar, right? You can just pick the PA. So I'm a little bit upset, I think, with this Morphling pick overall, just because when you think back about how they're going to play out this game, I don't feel like this Morphling can itemize correctly into the P at any point, right? Like, you're not an MKB buyer. Your E-Blade will fall off eventually if the PA goes Satanic with to lifesteal. She can go BKB. Like, I don't see Morphling being like the big boss hero. Yes, it's very good against like Bloodseeker in lane, the Pugna, the Morphling. Like, it can exist, but when your carry can only exist through what your opponent has, and it never has a moment where you can ever kill the opponent carry, that is a big concern. So I think in just the carry matchup, I think NiP's draft really let them down this game. I think they got a little bit too carried away, and Brame, they just had exactly what they wanted to play, the comfort picks, and they just demonstrated that they can play really well on the back foot because they just played the map really well. They had this Aegis timing on NiP that Brame just opened up the map, let NiP take these towers, take jungle control, but they never forced a fight. They never done these stupid small plays that we've seen other teams do that can just completely dismantle a game. So you got to give the discipline to Brame to keeping themselves in the game where NiP could have maybe punished them. But realistically, even with these plays from NiP, it's hard to see that true win condition when you truly think about that carry v carry matchup of Morph VPA.
Well, this is our first map for this derby, as NIP versus Brame now goes 1-0 for Brame. We'll take a tiny break, though. You need a little breather, the players as well. So we'll be back with map number 2 in a few more minutes. So don't disappear anywhere and enjoy this Monster Energy Dota Summit 13 EU and CIS Tournament Evolve.